Taco, 23rd of December. We're doing this one day before the last day before Christmas. Are you already in the Christmas modus?
How could I not be with this
With everything that we
surroundings and actually also clients speaking about it? Like,
yes,
is the market already has the market already finished? But we're still in the game. But you are noticing a little bit that it's coming now.
Exactly. Well, I think stock markets have. At the beginning of the week they were really negative, especially last Friday.
Yeah.
People selling, and now all of a sudden you see. I think it seems like the books were being cleaned or something, and now we have this real Christmas rally. No,
it looks like it. Yes. Actually, Monday we had the markets in red following last Friday. No, so a little bit of worries about Omicron and also the US. No, the investment plans were not.
Yeah,
sure
exactly.
anymore.
What happened with Biden?
Exactly.
He skipped his plan.
Yeah, so that was Monday, and we had also the Turkish Lira, no, the movements.
I have something funny about Turkey and the consequences of what's happening there in a minute.
Okay, well,
I have another question for you.
Okay, well, I followed it a little bit, but there were some movements. It was like we followed it also a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Now
Absolutely.
the other way around. So but like you said, later this week markets turned, profits, and we are now back. No, not at the all-time highs, but it's recovering quite quickly. So let's see.
Have you got the price for the beginning of the week of the S&P? It was 4,580, I think, and now we're 4,730 at the moment.
Yeah, so it's actually a strong movement. Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe because of the US consumer confidence, there were good figures, and also the economy in the US was in November quite good, but not as good as the month before. No. So good news, but I think it's like if Omicron is hot, it could lead to red markets, and now you don't hear anything, or at least not that much. Also quite strange that the airline companies, I heard that people are traveling a lot, so they have a very positive forecast despite of the lockdown. So I don't know, but I also heard today that Ryanair actually doubled the expected losses for 2022.
Doubled the losses?
Yeah, the forecast actually.
Okay.
I think it's quite
you see a lot of contrary news. Because if I look at Omicron, I mean travel stocks yesterday, they really bursted. They really went up a lot, except Ryanair. I think that was partly because of that. I didn't read that news what you said, but if you look at International Airlines Group, which has Iberia and British Airways, they went up 5%. Jet2 went up 5.2%, and that was mainly, I think, due to the fact, first of all, that Omicron has not such much impact on hospitalization, and also Pfizer announced that they have the authorization for the tablet, for the pill, which seems to be very effective for people above 12. And besides also people that had already an AstraZeneca jab, they also said that their third jab is really effective against the Omicron variant. Funny is that Moderna yesterday lost 6.5%. They're suffering quite a lot. Technically, if you look as a trader or as an investor, Moderna is still above the 200-day moving average. Has a price target of 293. Yesterday was approximately 250, I think, in the price. But what is happening there is a complaint that the SEC, so the Security and Exchange Commission, about the vaccines, and it is also to be believed that the pill is much more effective by investors than the third vaccine of Moderna. And there's a competition on its way of the Walter Reed's Army Institute. They're also developing a one-off jab. So there's a lot of things going on still, unfortunately, with the Omicron and the whole COVID situation.
Yeah, but I agree with you. It's like a roller coaster. Maybe it's always, but like things going well or bad, and the markets down and up. So it's not a boring last week's.
No, absolutely no. Then it's also, I think it's impossible with everything what is happening. No?
Yeah, but it is quite a change. No, first day is red and now green.
Let's finish off with your week overview. I think that's always good.
Yeah, I had one thing more. Like yesterday, today is Thursday. That we had Delivery Hero. They announced that they are going out of Germany. They don't want to focus that much. The share went up actually, but also the share of Just Eat Takeaway went up. So both win-win. Yeah, exactly, win-win situation. But it might also be that there was also the news that, of course, Germany goes into the lockdown with extra restrictions. So that was some news yesterday. And today, like I said, Ryanair with the news, and markets opened again strongly higher today,
very high,
and
yeah.
as we speak, it's continuing.
Absolutely. For a company that was not the case, they were not going up, was JD.com yesterday. Tencent, they said they are going to pay out a dividend of 16.4 billion US dollars. And they're going to do that by distributing nearly its complete stake in, it's a funny thing, they're going to pay out the dividend in JD.com shares.
Yeah.
So they're reducing their stake of 17% to 2.3%. JD.com plunged 11.5% in the stock market yesterday. For your information, Tencent is also investing in companies such as Tesla, Snapchat, and Spotify. And what is important for a company as Tencent is what are the plans of going abroad, right? So they are saying they want to do a lot more abroad. Important again because we spoke about Tencent in the past. Another investment company, Prosus, actually listed on the Dutch stock market, owns again more than 29% of the shares of Tencent. So if you hold Prosus, you also hold Tencent, and you also hold a lot of those other companies. So it's an interesting thing to see what they are going to do with all these JD.com shares, because obviously as the biggest shareholder of Tencent, they will receive also the biggest amount of shares. Other point, I read an interesting article about the IMF, and just 3 years ago they gave a massive loan to Argentina. You might think, well, what's interesting about it, because all the macro stuff is not so much, and you see that also they make mistakes. They make mistakes in doing their due diligence, and it's an article just that came across, and I think it's with everything that we're talking about, it's Omicron all the time, and this and that, and but these things are also still happening. So what they've done, they've gave out a loan of 57 billion, but without doing a proper due diligence, without actually doing the homework. So out of the 12 points that the Argentinian government was obliged to do with that money, they only accomplished 4. So basically the IMF lost that money, or they didn't manage to control the currency, they didn't manage to control the government debt, and the whole agreement was actually cancelled in 2020, last year. So it's just an evaluation of this loan. Another point, yesterday Tesla, Elon Musk said that he's going to stop selling his shares. He sold, I think, about 10 million of his shares over the last 2 months. So the price of Tesla went down from 1,200 back to 900, and now it's approximately around 10,000 again. Normal circumstances, when an insider sells stocks, the stock even plunges further. But apparently with Tesla, this is good news, and people are confident by the fact, or they got some confidence by the fact that he's not selling additional shares. So what has happened is gone now. And then my last question to you, Taco. We talked about Turkey. Do you like Nutella?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Well, you know that 70% of the hazelnuts are being produced in Turkey.
Okay, no, I didn't know it.
And there are nearly no hazelnuts left. And that's obviously because of the whole supply chain issues, fertilizers, seeds, and everything to buy for the Turkish farmers. The water is literally here, so they're not capable of supplying the harvest as they should. And it's a really big problem. And if you look, the owner of Nutella is Ferrero, also known from the Ferrero Rocher. But now with Christmas, we're all having these. Well, at least I'm having them. They're buying 1/3 of their hazelnuts in Turkey. And of course, also the currency is affecting this a lot. So they have no money to buy these expensive external fertilizers, etc. So. Yeah, you see that this has a massive impact maybe on your Nutella.
Yeah, well, let's see. But it is interesting that Erdogan at least announced
he
to
announced,
do something, and what a movement, not for a currency pair. It's like extreme. But let's see what happens, because also the markets are not so confident that all the measurements are like very economically. Well, how you say it, responsible, and
exactly.
Also you must see what measurements he really does for to help the country. Yeah. But very interesting. I also have something. I think I spoke with Casper a few weeks ago. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if it's that interesting, but
it is interesting.
It is interesting. Okay, now it's interesting, but overnight positions. It's something that everyone knows, or at least I hope they know it now. positions that not have been closed out before the ending of the day.
Yeah.
So
normally
normally
shares, or what are you talking
well,
about?
actually anything. I mean, that's the definition that if something you hold it and the markets are closed, then you are going into the night with those positions. And as a buy and hold investor, I told that also a few weeks ago. Of course, it's logical that your shares, of course, you hold them also in the night, and you hope next day they continue.
As an investor,
but
yes.
as a trader, of course, then you normally try to exclude the risk of overnight events, so you close your position. And then I thought, yeah, but a lot of people are in between. No, they are maybe have part of their investment for the long term, but maybe also part for the shorter term. And I had a look, since the last week. What is the impact of the overnight results? Well, it's not really results because the markets are closed, but between the closing and the opening. And I took the S&P 500, the ETF that normally closes, at 10 and opens.
Interesting, yes.
Yeah, and I saw it was just a small survey, so don't put too much value statistically. But in the last week, actually, the price movements intraday were exactly the same as from the closing until the opening. So during the day, for example, 2% growth of the ETF, and that was done the same also overnight. So actually the impact of the overnight results in this week were the same. So if you for some reason, in the weekend of course it's even extra now, and now with the holidays, you have like 2 or 3 days without trading, and you have your positions and you cannot sell them, of course. So if you there are ways, of course, to close positions before the ending of the day. You don't hold the overnight position, and of course, it can be positive that the markets open 3%
so
higher.
what are you trying to say here? Is that it's good to hold your position, or to?
It's not like good or bad, but I think the impact. People, like I said, buy and hold. Investors don't think about selling something and buying it back because you are buy and hold, but. With positions, for example, for the Christmas, if you are not sure about what will happen, the impact, it can be 2% higher or lower. Maybe you want to exclude that risk or that possibility. Of course, you're not going to trade every day and you have your spread cost, of course, but it's not that difficult for more active positions, of course, to say, okay, I close them because I want to have control during the trading day.
It's a risk mitigation. Actually.
Yeah, and it's not impossible, of course. With part of your investment, it's not. If you want to invest in a share like like Prosus or whatever, you're not going to buy and sell every day or every week. But especially before the holidays, of course. Now we are facing, this year not that much, but normally it can be 3 days of non-trading. Maybe it's something you need to consider. So not good or bad, but I think that's interesting to think about at least.
Okay. Well, I hope you like this video.
Yes.
I hope you like this video. Give us a thumb, and we hope to see you next week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.